Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
This is Jan Lewis. Welcome to my guest. Today we have from Hopedale, our resident mystery whodunit author is back again. Welcome, Glenn Ickler. And Glenn has got another book for us. I've been waiting for this one. He knows that too. A Doomsday Killing. Can you zero in on this, Paul? We're going to have the book downstairs in the library. And so that you can pick it up there. You know, if you're near the area, near Upton Library, you can definitely pick it up and peruse it. But the cover alone is going to get you. That's not a nun.
No.
No, that's not a nun.
Definitely
Before we go any further,
not.
this is a riot. Glenn has been on our show a number of times with so many great mystery books. And I love when he puts his dedication in the back. Dedication. This book is for all the friends who kept nagging me to write another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I was one.
And there's one of them.
I know a good thing when I see it.
She's just trying to fill time on it.
I know it. So Glenn, tell us, without giving the end away, because I was honest, I didn't finish it yet, and I don't want to know the ending. What is it generally about?
It is about, well, it starts out with the female leader of an offbeat religious sect based in northern Minnesota who makes the not a prediction, she declares definitely that she has word from heaven that the rapture will occur in 2 weeks on Easter Sunday. And let me tell you first that I got this idea from a real news story.
You did?
An obit on a woman who led a religious cult and claimed to have had several previous lives as, the queen of whatever and all that.
Yeah.
And so
that's where
this woman is based on that. But anyway, she very soon turns up dead with a silver bullet in her head and a wooden stake in her heart. And first of all, she's in a room that's locked from the inside, so it's a little difficult to
I'm still trying to figure
out how they got in there.
And there's nothing on the video cameras either.
No, there's nothing.
In the hall
in
at the hotel, there's nothing.
That's right. So, it's sort of like a ghost came out of nowhere and did this. But anyway, pretty soon, two more people rise to the occasion and claim to be her successor.
Oh, there's a real Donnybrook.
The rest of the book involves those two clashing, and of course, because they think it might be the end of the world, news media come from all over the world, and downtown St. Paul is an absolute chaos with all these the religious bunch and the news bunch, and there are fights in bars, and you can't find a parking place anywhere in town, and the police are going crazy.
And then there was the pacifist crowd. They ran the entrance to the hotel, right? And poor Mitch. Now let's tell everybody that your main characters are always Mitch Mitchell. Now he's a journalist.
That's right.
For the Daily
Dispatch
in Minnesota,
in St. Paul.
And Al, what's his last name now?
Jeffrey.
Al Jeffrey. He is a photographer, a videographer, and he tails around. They use these two guys where they go on stories together, and they seem to get along pretty well. I was telling Glenn, I always picture Mitch as you, and the humor in this. I mean, the more books I read, the more as you in your age, you get funnier and funnier. It really, the sense of humor. How the tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did it take you to write this one?
Well, it took a lot longer than usual for a couple of reasons. One, that I had a lot of distractions along the way, visits from family and a little cruise on the Danube and things like that.
You went to the Danube?
I did.
Yeah, but you had to get in a plane to fly there, didn't you?
I did, yes.
You got in a plane.
That was the unpleasant part of it, was flying over. But anyway, the other thing was I got into this thing, and I didn't like what I had, so I deleted a whole bunch of stuff and started over again. So
you started the book all over again,
practically from the beginning.
So where we were is that there's this Donnybrook going on between this person in this cult and this one saying,
Yes.
I'm the leader,
Yeah.
and I'm going to take you into heaven. In other words, the rest of you sinners are going down.
Yeah, man. That's,
And that's
right.
That's where I am right now, where
Okay.
where they've just had the brawls at the hotel,
Yeah.
and Mitch got decked by a big guy, and he ended up with a lady on top of him protecting him,
That's
and it didn't
right.
look good in the newspaper. Where do you get these ideas? They just pop into your head?
Well, eat Mit's pie and go to bed.
Do you really? Now I know Mitch, the journalist in the story. He has toast with peanut butter in the morning. Do you do that too?
I do, in fact.
Okay, is it natural peanut butter or regular Jiffy? Just regular.
It's the natural
Okay.
kind of with a little oil in it.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
do. You know what's really good for you? You put it on your toast. I sprinkle a little flaxseed. Boy, is it good for you.
I hadn't thought about that.
Oh, yeah. You can also put it on a banana. You know, as long as you have some protein in the morning, like if it's not an egg, you have a little peanut butter on something.
Yeah.
I thought, I wonder if Glenn's doing that. Is there a lot of you in Mitch's character?
Yeah,
There's got to be.
I confess.
Definitely, because that's the way the charm of your books is, because it's coming out, to me that this has got to be Glenn.
Yeah. I've never run into this many criminals. I've only met 2 criminals in my life. One was a St. Paul attorney who hired a guy to kill his wife, and the other was Richard Nixon.
Well, there's another one coming.
Hired some people to kill the Constitution.
Right.
But,
Well, watch TV. There's a few coming our way too that are already in deep doo-doo.
yeah.
Now, the cover of this again, it looks like back to a nun walking along with her habit on, but it's not.
It's not really a nun, no. It's this group that dressed
Head to toe in white. Right?
head to toe in
Even the
white.
white shoes.
Oh, yes.
And they have bodyguards.
And, yeah.
These so-called leaders, they have
And
bodyguards.
the leader, she actually indoors, she had a crown of thorns that she wore. But
Yeah, and what did the guy wear? He had something else on. He didn't have the
he
thorns.
was
Noah?
he was all in white. He had a
Yeah, but
white-
he didn't. He had not worn the thorns one time, and it when I guess
Oh,
Mitch visited him,
yeah, I think he had a white
like a skull cap.
Skull cap.
He had a
yeah.
skull cap on.
Yeah, yeah.
When you went to Create Space, how did you find this cool cover? You just found it,
They have a people who do covers.
and you tell them what you
And you
want.
tell them, they tell them what the book's about, and they show you some choices, and that was far and away the.
I love this a doomsday killing again with Glenn Ickler, our favorite mystery writer here. A doomsday killing. What made you? Well, doomsday that comes into because they were predicting the rest of you are going down and we're going to heaven.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to heaven. They're being raptured into heaven, and the rest of us, depending on what kind of mood.
We're going down. And he signed it. Glenn always signs it. He goes to Jan. Have a doomy Christmas. Jesus. Oh, he's I earmark. You could tell when I go through something. I earmark it, and I always wonder, is that really Glenn? You came up. How many years ago did you write your first Mitch story?
The first one was published in 2002.
So you've been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah.
Now, remind everybody what you used to do for your other job before you got into writing.
Well, I was in newspapers for 40 years.
You were in Minnesota. You were in Minnesota, right?
Well, I started in Minnesota, and I came out here in 1983.
Yeah. And now I know that you do the Sunday.
Started as a farm editor on a middle-sized paper in Minnesota, and then became sports editor, and then went to the St. Paul Dispatch and Pioneer Press, where I wound up as associate editor, and then the job opened up out here for editorial page editor in the Framingham paper, which was really booming at the time.
Well, you do the
Middlesex News was a really...
That's it, isn't it? The Sunday Middlesex News.
Yeah.
Is it the op-ed, the opinion?
Yeah, on the opinion section.
Oh, but it's funny. We got Uncle Fudd and Aunt.
Yeah.
Who are they now?
Uncle Fudd and Aunt Dud.
You take a cool
I
political
got a cousin,
issue.
Zud.
Yeah, and then you've got, it's either a political issue or that thing out in Martha's Vineyard. Whatever happened to this heath hen thing that you used to tell us about?
Oh, well, I haven't heard anything about that lately.
You sent me something.
That died. They couldn't raise the money for that, and people were smart enough. Nobody was dumb enough to put $1 million into trying to bring back an extinct bird.
Tell people again what that was about. That was hilarious. Tell them again.
Well, the heath hen was sort of like a prairie chicken, and the only place it grew was on Martha's Vineyard. And it went extinct in 1932 because they hunted the poor thing to death there for both the feathers and the meat.
Yeah.
And they had a few stuffed ones in the museum, and this bunch from California, which was trying to bring back some extinct things like the woolly mammoth.
Yeah, that's not going to show up.
They thought they came to the vineyard trying to raise money to bring back the heath hen, and people there were not that dumb.
Glenn had a wonderful article in the Sunday It's the Metro West, not Middlesex.
It's Metro West now. It used to be Middlesex.
Middlesex, yes, so Metro West News. And I remember reading, I read his articles when I get all the Sunday papers, and I'm reading, and I cracked up about this hen, this heath hen. I mean, it's almost to me like a scam. Kind of a scam.
Well,
a little bit. Or were they just real?
I think they were real, but they were surreal, you might call them.
I thought you'd sent me something about that it resurfaced.
It did. They came back a second time. That was in 2016. They didn't come back this year.
They didn't come back. You're not sad about that.
Didn't break my heart.
I know. I mean, I'd never even heard of a heath hen.
I wasn't going to write him a check anyway.
No. We're talking with Glenn Ickler, and his latest book is A Doomsday Killing. And some people might say, "Oh, I can't read that." This isn't blood and guts stuff. This is high class mystery where he doesn't get down into what do you call them? More the morticians things and stuff like that. No. This is about a cult, a religious cult. Yeah. And these people are fighting to be the head of it when somebody knocks off the head of the already head of it.
Right.
And we can't figure out how that person, the murderer, got into her bedroom. She had a suite in the hotel. Right.
And it was locked from the inside.
Yeah, locked from inside. Her bodyguards were next door, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to think how.
I mean, they couldn't even get in without help from the hotel. So.
And then the janitor. Now I've gotten to this too. The janitor has disappeared. What connection has he got? He went down a staircase. It's like he went poof. They can't even find any video on him.
That's right.
And I think Mitch and Al went to visit his sister.
Yes.
Yeah, his twin sister. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know where he is.
And she has no idea where he is.
Do you think she's holding back?
No.
Okay, all right. So she's not holding back. I couldn't put.
I shouldn't have told you that.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay because now I'm going to be putting it together and putting it together. Like, okay, she is not holding back. Okay, she's in it. She doesn't know. This dude has gone somewhere. We don't even know if he's dead. I don't even know yet.
No. No, you haven't got that far.
I know at the end there'll be some comedy relief here where something happens where Mitch will say something about, well, we're still here, That's what I'm thinking. But, I've been trying, I'm a slow reader, and I have so many books to read. And I was up again about 3 o'clock this morning with the flashlight so I wouldn't wake my husband up, and I'm going like this. I was like, I've got to get to sleep. But I say, maybe I could finish it tonight before he gets here, but... That's okay. You've read. Glenn, how can they go about getting your book?
Well, you can go on Amazon.com for one thing. You can go on my website, which is glenickler.net. You can order one at Barnes & Noble. You can even get, the electronic copy from Amazon.
Oh, you're doing the Nook thing now, right? You're doing the Nook?
Yeah, I'm not doing Nook, but the one in Amazon's... what do you call it?
It's like a little electronic reader.
Yeah.
Like Nook.
Yeah, it's like Nook. Yeah.
That's no fun, though. I want the
book.
No,
I don't like it, but people buy that, so it's available on that if you want that kind.
When you go into a doctor's waiting room, you must notice it, too. I see too much of this. There's a couple, maybe, of us reading. And usually I'll say, what you reading? And somebody will say to me, "Oh, what's that?" And I get to plug everywhere I go. But now you are going to be appearing at the Bancroft Library coming up on February 7th.
Right. 6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m. Now this is going to be you and 3 other authors.
Right.
We were just talking about the size of the room, and I don't know how they're going to squish everyone in, but they're going to do it. And what do they call it? Like an open night, open house for authors?
It's local. It's Hopedale Local Authors Night.
Yeah.
We're all from Hopedale, believe it or not. There's 4 whole people in Hopedale who write books.
I wonder if I know the other authors. I've been in that room numerous times. That's how I met Glenn over at the Hopedale Library, the Bancroft Library. You were doing one of your books. You were actually reading to us from one of your books.
Yeah.
I said, this guy's pretty cool. He's on to something. So I stuck around afterwards, and he had a table full of his, I mean, he's already a lot of books by then. And I said, do you have a card? Or you didn't. We connected, and we got him on this was probably back, my God, 2013, 2012, something. You've been on off and on for years. Is this your 5th or 6th visit? What do you think?
That's what I was trying to remember myself. I'm not sure.
He's been with us since we had our...
certainly 2012 or 2011, I think.
Yeah, because 2012 is when we began the show here in Upton. So you might have been one of the very first guests. I remember, I know that when I get, authors they send me a copy so that I can
You were in the fire station.
Yeah, we were temporarily over in the EMT headquarters here in Upton, and until we got our new studio. And authors send me a copy of their book so that I could at least try to get it finished before they get on. Glenn is one of those people that, when I get the little yellow slip in my post office box, there's a book here. So I go in, and they go out and they get it and they hand it to me. I immediately look at the return address. I'm like, yes! Because I'm a huge mystery thriller suspense person. And your way of writing, some authors overdo too much detail. You're like, oh, geez, now I got to go back and figure out who this person was.
Well, Elmore Leonard, I took my advice from Elmore Leonard, who was one of the most successful writers in the history of the country. Yeah. And his advice was, leave out the parts that the readers skip over.
Keep it simple.
Yes.
Robert Parker.
Robert Parker's another one.
You and Robert Parker are. I love the style. Keep it simple. Make sure the next chapter continues right forward. Yes. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
You don't kind of like...
I try to keep them short, and I try to lead into the next one so that people like you can keep...
Yes, I know it, because my mind I can start to drift. I'm like, no, you got to go. Some books that I don't like are when there's multiple, what do you call it? In multiple chapters, it's a different person speaking every time.
Those can be very difficult to deal with.
It drives me cuckoo.
Yeah.
I'm like, can't you kind of just blend it in with the story? But I suppose maybe, if it's a memoir, somebody had to include other people's takes on something, right? But not Glenn, boy. He gets right to the mystery. And is this the fattest one that you've put out, the biggest?
Yeah, it is.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I've got a bunch of your books at home. Yeah. In my home library, it's dead right there for Glenn. And I'm thinking, when I got this in the mail, I said, that's a big sucker. This is a big one. Yeah. This is going to be really juicy.
Yeah.
Now, you told, I don't dare ask.
We're dealing with really heavy stuff here.
Yes, you are.
You could be doomed.
I've told Glenn, you live in Hopedale. You're not in Minnesota anymore. Can you write a mystery around here? Please.
The one I'm working on now takes them back to the vineyard.
Okay, so we're going to stick to Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, we're going to stick to Massachusetts.
That's good.
One of my early ones, they went the 7th book, in fact. They went to the vineyard to visit the uncle of the paper's cartoonist.
I remember.
Well, in the one I'm working on now, the uncle has died, and they've gone to the vineyard to...
So they're going to go back.
They're going back to the vineyard with the cartoonist to
Jerome.
Deal with
Jerome.
Dave Jerome.
Dave Jerome.
Yeah.
You come up with the greatest names. Where did you do this?
I worked with a cartoonist named Jerry Fearing and another one named David.
Well, I'm at the part now where they're tearing their hair out in the newspaper building because they think they might be losing their jobs. It was just bought out by MTM. It's not MGM. MMG.
MHG, I think it is.
It's not MSG. No,
I don't know. I haven't read this for a while myself.
When did you get copies? When did it come out?
November.
And you haven't read it in a while.
Well, yeah, I read the proofs in October.
Oh, okay. How far are you now in your new book?
About 50 pages.
Okay. All right. So maybe
we got the uncle dead, and we got to the
Yeah.
to the realization that he didn't die of a heart attack.
What I don't get is how do Mitch and Al find out? I'm trying to think again of the editor there. That Don
Don O'Rourke.
he always sends them on their assignments.
Don O'Rourke is from a real character too. His son came to one of my signings.
This is so cool. And I noticed Jan L. was in here, and I thought it was like a pretend quote from somebody who'd heard about all this going on. And I noticed
they did a
in
man
the
on the
front,
street thing.
there was a note, like you go into the page where it says when it's copyrighted. So remember this on page 29. Any resemblance to actual events or persons living or dead is entirely coincidental. I said, all right, I'm going to go back to 29 again. I got it. It was a fictional Jan L. I thought maybe you'd given me the wrong copy. It was a message for someone else. Duh! It took me a little... All right, so back to Don. How does Don find out about something out in the vineyard if he's in Minnesota with his newspaper company? How does he know? How does Don lead Mitch and Al to go out and take the story and somebody...
Because Uncle Walt used to be the editor of the St. Paul paper.
Okay. All right, that's the key here.
Yeah.
All right, so they're going back there. Did
They're
they pay
going back there to help support Dave Jerome and to cover the story of Uncle Walt's death.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be a little bigger deal than they expected, because Uncle Walt is, when they do, Uncle Walt dies unattended in his house, and according to Massachusetts state law, you have to do an autopsy in a case like that.
If someone passes in your
unattended
house?
death, yeah.
Why?
An unattended death, you have to do an autopsy. Don't ask me.
I didn't know. A lot of people...
So they do the autopsy and discover that he's full of arsenic.
But no one was living with him.
No.
Oh, okay, here comes the next mystery.
And his next door neighbor didn't see anybody come, but
Here we go again with we don't see anybody coming or going.
Had to be somebody there.
One thing about, I haven't read some of Glenn's books, I mean, they move, like I was saying. You go from chapter to chapter, there is no stalling and taking you way, way back. It keeps going.
Well, you'll like the start of the next one. It starts out with the meeting Uncle Walt's lawyer, only they meet him on a clothing optional beach, and the lawyer's naked.
Are you serious? Where do you get these ideas? I'm looking at him. Here's this nice-looking gentleman, and he's coming up with these wild ideas.
Yeah,
is that in your mind? This is the back of your mind. Have you ever been to a nudist beach?
Oh, yeah.
Who is Glenn Ickler?
Are
you serious?
I had my suit on, but I saw other people who did not.
Oh, you peep? Oh, he gives it peeps, everyone. Where is it? There's one in New Hampshire.
Two. There are two nudist beaches.
In New Hampshire.
Beaches on the vineyard, in fact. One is Lucy Vincent, which is the one that this is on. Part of it is.
Yeah.
And the other one is out at Gayhead.
Yeah.
Which is just part of that one is too. But you have to walk quite a ways to get to, which is actually I've been on them both.
I think there's one in New Hampshire. In fact, I read a book recently.
I think there is too, yeah. It's kind of cold up there.
Yeah, it'd be a little cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to sit down without no air on.
You don't sit on a rock.
I don't know what's coming next with you. I mean, we've gone from a religious cult now to we got a nudist colony coming up with a lawyer.
No, just one guy.
And the lawyer is sitting there talking with the family or with Mitch and Al in naked.
Huh?
Is in this nudist colony. It's going to start out.
No.
Okay, all right.
The lawyer is naked. The Mitch and Al are not.
Oh boy, you guys, you know where you go.
They got their wives along, for God's sake.
Maybe by this time next year, the next book will be done.
I certainly hope so.
Do you have a title?
The working title is Arsenic and Old Men.
Arsenic and Old Men. You got to go see Glenn coming up on February 7th.
Oh, you must.
Yes. Coming up, he's going to be at the Bancroft Library in Hopedale. Not hard to find. 7 or 6:30?
6:30.
6:30. You go downstairs, and it's near the children's room. There's like a little...
There's a little meeting room down there.
Yeah, there's a meeting room down there. And so that will be on the 7th, which is a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
It's a Wednesday.
It's okay, it's a Wednesday night. And you'll be there.
Bring $15.
Yeah, bring your money.
I'll be happy to sign a book.
Are you going to? How many books are you going to be? Are you going to be just? Are you going to bring this one or the Doomsday Killing? Or are you going to bring some others too?
Oh, I'll bring some.
You going to bring some more?
Oh, you bet. I mean, I've got,
but you filled
I've got
the table.
13 of them.
Well, I know, but you had. If you're going to have 3 other authors there, where are they going to put their books?
I don't care. That's their problem.
Oh my God!
I know I can fill a table.
Oh, I know you can. Have you been over at Milford Library at all?
I have not.
I think you'd enjoy that. It's got a nice big room downstairs. You would enjoy that.
Yeah.
I've been. We had an FBI, really an FBI guy who wrote a book. He was here. We also saw him definitely once, maybe twice over in Milford. I think it was once. And he could not discuss family. He could not discuss any personal things about himself. He kept it right to the book.
Oh my!
But I remember going to that, and he was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But that room was good because another one I went to, they had about 3 authors, and they all took a time getting up at the podium and speaking. Do you each get a certain amount of time?
10 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah.
But what if you want to read? You know, what if you want to read a little bit out of your
Well,
book?
I can read a little. Yeah, 10 minutes is quite a while when you think about it.
Gosh, when I give a presentation...
I mean, you got 4 people, that's 40 minutes plus introduction time, so that's almost, you're getting close to an hour.
But what about questions and answers?
Well, there is a question and answer period also.
At the very end.
Planned, yeah.
But, so people would have to say, we have a question for Glenn, or we have a question for Sally.
I think that's the way it is.
Okay.
That's the way it sounded to me when it was presented to me.
All right. Well, okay, downstairs in the Upton Library, those of you who are local, and if you're also within the system, come on over. There'll be a copy in the dedicated author's wall of A Doomsday Killing. Again, this is not blood and guts. This is very easy to read mystery. Wonderful, and it keeps you guessing. I'm a little more than halfway through, and I have no clue who has gotten who. Still no clue. I think I wrote you, I suspect. But I don't want to know yet. I don't really want to know. Doomsday Killing. And again, Glenn, how can they get your book? How can they?
How can they get? They can go on Amazon.com. They can go on glenickler.net. They can go to Barnes & Noble and order a copy there.
Are you over at Tatna? Do you have a copy over there?
No, I haven't gotten over there yet.
I'm over there a lot. They are terrific. It's a
Yeah,
great
I
room in
like
the back.
that.
Yeah, I know that. They've got a nice presentation room. I've done it myself there and sent many authors.
Yeah, I've done a couple signings there.
I love it. I love it. And
Yeah.
you go in there and it's... Well, they're really gearing it towards us girls because when you walk in, they got a lot of the jewelry,
Oh, God,
a lot of the
yes.
clothes and the tchotchkes and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Then you walk into the big books, right?
Yeah.
And in the back, you've got that nice, quiet chair section.
Mhm.
Barnes & Noble got rid of the chairs. Did you notice?
Oh,
Gone. Oh, a couple
Really?
years ago. I don't think they want us sitting there, piling them up and not buying them.
yeah,
That's what I
suppose.
think it
I
is.
think that's what happens.
I think because you see people leaving
Well,
piles.
you see people coming in and they take books and they take their phone and they get the phone and then they go on Amazon and buy them cheaper.
It wouldn't dawn on me. See, I don't have that little gadget, so I thought, no, I
Yeah.
want to buy the thing.
Yeah,
Glenn, thanks for coming back. I'm going to see you in February.
I certainly
We're
hope
going to
so.
see you February 7th, and
Yeah.
you're going to await your next book. It better be here next year, or I'm going to haunt you
Just for you.
just for me. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I enjoyed every minute of it.
We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest.